Alright, so I am on day 4 of my Breatherian journey. And yes, that's right, I'm calling it a Breatherian journey. I am no longer calling it fasting because fasting has nothing to do with the fucking Breatherian journey. A lot of you guys may think it does because on the Breatherian journey, you're not eating. Just like on the fasting journey, you're not eating. But at the same time, starvation, you ain't eating. But do you attribute starvation with fucking breatharian or fasting? No, because if before your ass gets to starvation, your ass eats. So it's not starvation. Starvation is when your ass is in pain and fucking going through health issues as a result of not being able to obtain food. Every nigga that's fasting and on the breatharian voluntarily, they're able to access food. So therefore, you can't just compare breatharianism to fasting just because you ain't eating food. That makes no fucking sense. If anything, when you're on breatharian, you are eating. You're eating the energetic energy that surrounds us, which sustains the body. This is why breatharian can go a lot longer, or can go his whole life for a lot longer without food compared to somebody else, because they're eating something that the other person isn't eating, and that's energy. That's the energy around us. They call chi, they call prana, which these are just words the Masons made up so they can capitalize it and sell their bullshit Hinduism and all that other Indian bullshit that they have. Which at the end of the day, it ain't no word to it. It's fucking energy. If you want to call it a word, it's called energy. So I'm on day 4 of my breatharian journey, and the reason I want to speak about this is because a lot of people became comfortable within their uncomfort zone, which makes no fucking sense, because if you're going to be uncomfortable, you might as well be uncomfortable doing something that's going to bring you abundance, prosperity, and achievement and accomplishment in the future. Why be in an uncomfort zone that's not going to bring you that? AKA working at a job you fucking hate, but yet you're still working there. Why are you working there? Fucking quit. The reason you can't quit because you got comfortable being in your uncomfort zone. You see what I'm saying? So what we have to do now is change our mind so we can choose a different uncomfort zone and just be stuck in that. Because if you're stuck in the uncomfort zone that's going to benefit you, in 8 months to a year, you're going to have something of value, versus staying in an uncomfort zone, which in 8 months to a year, you're just going to have more episodes and situations of you bitching and complaining that you're surrounded by bots, which we don't want that. So we first need to get out of our uncomfort zone, and by doing that is by sacrificing desires, relinquishing our desires, our wants, and our needs. A lot of your wants, needs, and desires are things you really don't want and you really don't need. A lot of the foods you think you like, you really don't like. And I'm saying this as in I fucking been there. I used to like certain foods. I used to like Indian food. Used to be one of my favorite foods. In my birthday 2 years ago, 2021, March of 2021, I remember my sister had bought me some food from the Indian restaurant for my birthday, and I fucking hated it. I hated that fucking shit. And just weeks before that, I was gorging it. But the difference is that between that time, I was doing a lot of fasting, energy work, and yoga specifically, because the yoga is what really got me over that point. The energy work I just started really doing consistently as of a few weeks from now. But that yoga really got me over. And the yoga, that I feel was responsible for relinquishing a lot of my desires. So a lot of the shit I thought I used to like, I didn't fucking really like. So, and the reason I'm saying all this is because if you don't know that your desires and your wants, 99% of them are things you really don't want and desire, you're going to be in a wheel chasing something that you really don't want. And then at the end of the day, when you realize it, it's going to be too late, and you're going to realize you wasted money, time, and energy for something that you really didn't fucking want. You see what I'm saying? It's just like when I said in my last live stream, a lot of people think a PS5 and a fucking iPhone 15, that's something so good, and oh, I need it and it's the latest gadget. But the only reason you're saying that is because of the programming, the marketing, and the scarcity of having that. If just like they have the government Obama phone, you don't look at that as something that you want and desire. You look at that as a last resort when your ass fucking don't got any money and you're forced to get that bullshit. But the reason for that is not because the technology is worse than the iPhone 15. You can't say that, because if everyone had an iPhone 15 and a PS5 and all this latest shit, and it was easily accessible like dirt, the value of it will go down because you're it's like you have it all. Everyone has it. So your desires and your urges aren't based upon what you really want and need. It's based upon programming and situational circumstances that cause you to want to like something. You guys see what I'm saying? Like when you were a kid, why do you think every kid likes pizza and McDonald's? It's not because they really like this shit. It's just programming. When they go to school, they say, oh, if you be good and do your homework, we gotta have a pizza party. And then you eat pizza, you watch a movie, and it's on Friday. That's usually when they have pizza Fridays. And then when you don't have to go to school on the weekend, so you tie an emotional tie. It's an emotional bond to it. So now you attribute it to, oh, I don't gotta go to school. And this is all in your subconscious. You're not registering it. So now a grown ass man who likes pizza, they really chasing that feeling subconsciously, feeling that they need to have it. That's why all these dumbass sheep, even these stupid sheep who they may have their own they may work for themselves at home, or they may fucking not have to work a 9 to 5. But since they're so programmed, they still do all their things on the weekend. Like, oh, Saturday's coming, I want to go out and have fun. But like, bitch, you don't even have to do that because you don't even work a 9 to 5. So why are you still going out on fucking Saturday? That doesn't make any sense. Why are you basing your whole life on? Is because of the emotional bond of programming from school and all that shit. So a lot of what I'm trying to say is a lot of the desires you niggas have, you really don't have. And the way you can find out is getting to the root of this is by doing the energy work to be able to cleanse all that bullshit from your surroundings. And I'm not saying you're not supposed to eat, you're not supposed to have fun, because when I have fun and when I eat, nigga, I'm gonna go all out. Like me, when I break my fast, I usually go to a 4 or 5 star restaurant. I went to Benihana's. I remember I used to go to Benihana's, and there was one place I used to go to that was by the water. I forgot the name of that shit. I think it was Horatio's. Yeah, it was Horatio's. It was by the beach. It was like a 4 or 5 star race, so like $200 steaks there. I didn't get the steak for that much, but I got like the steak of like $70, and then I had they had like fucking just the regular shit that I had. Like they had the lobster, the shrimp, the fucking potatoes and all this shit, but it was a higher quality. I ended up paying like fucking $80 for the meal and everything. And I left the tip and stuff because they were nice and shit. So I left the little tip, so it was about like $90. Like if I'm gonna go all out, I'm gonna go all out doing that shit. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying you guys don't go out and have fun, but shit, at least if you're gonna go and fucking enjoy yourself, at least enjoy it to the max. Don't go to no fucking McDonald's. The fuck is that shit? Nigga, eat something fucking good. Eat some organic shit. If it's gonna be junk food, eat some organic. If you're gonna smoke some motherfucking weed, nigga, smoke some rosin, nigga. The shit that gets you high as fuck, that costs like $70 a gram, nigga. At least go all out and satisfy your desires with something of high quality, not no cheap ass shit. So I'm not saying don't go out and have fun, but if you're gonna at least go have fun, at least enjoy yourself. Don't get the cheap shit. And the reason I'm saying this because I know a lot of people out there, they like to smoke their weed, they like to do their thing, which is nothing wrong with that. I'm speaking just for me in general, because at the end of the day, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Some people, they need to rob. Some people, the reason why they're successful is because they scammed and they robbed. Look at Bandman Kevo. That nigga scammed, that nigga robbed, and he went to jail for 3 years. But before he went to jail, he was smart enough to put money aside. So when he got out, he was able to take that money and invest in real estate, stocks, business, his credit business that he has, all his business ventures that he's on, his music. And now look at, if you type in Bandman Kevo, you see, look where he's at. And he even said, when he got out of jail back in 2020, I think, or some shit, when he got out of jail, he had about like a few $100,000, and he used that to invest into himself. And look where he's at now. This nigga's up 8 figures. He got an 8-figure net worth. See, so in his case, him scamming and robbing worked out good for him. But you have to, you got to know how to play the shit. So I'm not telling you guys, don't do this, don't do that. Some people you guys may need to eat. Like, for an example, like a lot of people, a perfect example, a lot of people say, oh, I hate these people that talk about sports and football and all this shit. And I hate that shit too. But when I started selling these sports cars that I got from ripping and running in these motherfucking stores, a lot of people who talk about sports and basketball, they wanting to buy these cars from me, and for a large amount of money. And I'm like, I'm glad that there's motherfucking people who are into sports, because now it's benefiting me. Just like not everyone's meant to be a breatharian. If I'm working with somebody and we're about to close a business deal and he's about to come over to sign the document so I can close this deal. If he didn't eat his cereal and oatmeal in the morning, he may not have the energy or be in the right state of mind. So he needs to eat. I'm going to make sure that nigga eats, because him eating is going to mean he's going to be on par to do the job that I need him to do. So like I said, like, I'm not on that shit, oh, everybody got to be that. No, some people need to do what they got to do. But I'm just telling people who resonate with my information, if you want to go on the pathway, and you guys should know if you resonate with me or not. I can't tell you. You guys should know. And the ones who know, you know. And if you don't, then I'm here for you to give you what I did, and hopefully it can help you. And this is what I make this channel for. This channel ain't for everyone. Breatherian is not for everyone. Some people, there's different stages to breatharian. Some people only make it to liquidarian. Some people make it to fruitarian. Some people won't even make it to any type of darian. So you niggas need to just keep eating vegetarian, meatitarian, all that other bullshititarian. You see what I'm saying? So we got to find out where we're at. Where we're at. But like I said, I'm on day 4 of my fucking my breatharian journey. Yes, I'm calling it breatharian journey. I'm not calling it fasting, because fasting has nothing to do with breatharian. Always remember that. Fasting has nothing to do with breatharian. I'm not saying that you shouldn't fast, but like I said, fasting has nothing to do with breatharian. Breatharian is the same feeling you niggas get when you just eat a steak. A breatharian is supposed to feel that times 10 at all times. That's a breatharian. So just like you feel satiated when you eat, a breatharian is supposed to feel satiated from just doing energy work. So this is why I say fasting has nothing to do with breatharian, because when you're fasting, it's not about feeling satiated. Fasting is about healing the body. That's the only reason you fast, is to heal the body. Anybody talk about, oh, you fast to get into spiritual and all that. Don't get me wrong, you can. But like I said, once you get into the spiritual aspect with fasting, then that's where the meditations, the yoga, the tai chi, they come in hand. When you're fasting, this is why in the Bible they say you're supposed to fast and pray. Replace prayer with yoga. Replace prayer with tai chi. Replace prayer with meditation. Replace that. They even tell you in that fucking good book. They tell you. And that book, if you know how to read that motherfucker, it's pretty much the only book you know how to read. If you know how to read that motherfucker. The Bible's the only book you really need if you know how to read it. Everything else is just some bullshit. So I'm not hating. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the Bible ain't, when I said good, but I'm not just demeaning it like that. Because if you know how to decipher, if you don't know how to decipher and you're reading it for what it is, then you need to put that shit down. And that shit's probably cause you more harm than good. So that's all I really wanted to say in this video. Yeah, I'm on my day 4 of my breatharian journey. I'm probably going to end it today, because right now I'm focusing on building my muscle, my breatharian muscle. And once the longer you go on a fast and you end it, you have to get back on it. So if you do a 4-day fast and you end it, no more than 2 days. I would say no more than 1 day, but if you're starting out, no more than 2 days, you need to take a break. Because if the more you take a break, the more that muscle is going to atrophy. And then you're going to end up feeling like, you're going to be like, why? Well, I was able to do 7-day fast, and right now I can barely make it to 2. It's because you atrophied. You weren't doing the meditations. You weren't doing it consistently. And the body adjusts. If you're eating garbage, that shit gets within you. The more sick and tired you feel after a fast, the more garbage you have in you. The longer you do these fasts, the more the garbage is going to be cleansed from you. So therefore, when you go on a longer fast the next time, you're not going to feel these hunger pains. You're not going to feel tired, because all that shit you're not going through those withdrawals. Just like a drug addict, they go through withdrawals and eventually the withdrawals stop. Food is a drug. You learned how to eat. Eating is not something that is natural. You learned how to eat. Understand that. If you don't fucking believe me, go to your grocery store. Go to the Walmart or any department store that sells baby food. They don't just give babies regular food. They give babies dense food, or not dense, but liquid food. And then eventually they go on to more solid food, and it's a gradual. Even when the kid is like 4 or 5 years old, they have a kid's meal. Why do you think they give the kid a grown-ass fucking supersized number 3? Because the kid can't take that, because it's not normal to eat. So this is what I even have to say kid, they tell you, kid's meal. Because it's susceptible for kids, because kids can't eat that much. So that off the bat tells you food ain't natural, nigga. See, when you decipher and you look at the common sense in the world, it's telling you everything. You don't give no baby fucking dense fucking food. You give a baby food. They have baby food, kids food, aka kids meal, and then they have grown-up food, which is the shit we eat. And by the time you get to grown-up food, that's because you already programmed yourself to eat. And now we're at a stage right now when we understand we don't need to eat, so now we got to deprogram ourselves. So this goes from eating solid to fruit to liquidarian. So we see how we going backwards now, because we deprogramming. You see what we're doing? See, I'm not, this ain't me just making this shit up. And not only that, I've experienced it. I went 7 days without eating or drinking. I went 7 days without eating or drinking. I went 43 days without eating. But how I got to that point wasn't just, I had to work my way up into that point. Some people, they're just genetically have it within them where they're more susceptible to do it. Like you'll see some people that can knock out 60 days or 40 days and they really don't need no preparation like that. Which some people, they're just born like that. Those are usually people who they just born for it. Just like everyone's built differently. So some people naturally, maybe in a past life, they were already on this path. So therefore, a transition in this life where they're able to do it more. It could be a countless amount of reasons. But at the end of the day, you can get off of it. And if you guys are the ones, like, because this is a spiritual call, not everyone's meant to be breatharian. But the ones who are meant to be breatharian, the ones that are not meant to be breatharian, you can still eat healthy. You can still eat watermelon. You can still eat fruit. You can still do the breatharian journey. Like maybe 5 days you don't eat. Then you may eat something. There's nothing wrong with that. Because you're still cleansing the body and you're still healing. But like I said, not everyone's meant for this path. So I just want to end this video right now. I'm going to end my fast today and then I'm going to start again tomorrow. And like right now, it's weird. Like I feels like I'm in a different world right now. Because a lot of people, when they talk about going to another world or another dimension, everyone's always thinking about some other world and outer space and another planet or another reality. And there's only one reality, the reality we're in right now. And when we talk about worlds, the world is our mind. So I can be in the same location right now, and based upon my consciousness and what I'm doing with my energy, I'm able to see a different reality that looks different. Even though that building is still the same, based on the energy work I'm doing and the healing and the fasting and the shadow work I'm doing, that building, even though it's still the same building, I'm going to look at it differently. That building's going to be more bright. The colors are going to be brighter. The building may be a little bit more immersive and bigger. It may feel more like I'm in a cartoon, or it may feel, it's just going to look different. And all of this is, you're still in the same reality, but you're able to see it from a higher perspective, a different angle based upon the work you're doing. This is why you see people who are depressed and miserable, they have the analogy with the cloud over their head, because they're seeing everything dark. Because when I was depressed, I remember everything was dark. Then as I started doing yoga and fasting and getting out of my depression, everything started seeming brighter. Like somebody turned the contrast up into, and I would, like when I was walking down the street, it was more enjoyable to walk down the street compared to when I was depressed. I was like, I gotta walk down this fucking street. I can't wait to get home. Before I'm able to walk and look at everything and look at the tree and look at the fucking the birds and like it's a movie and shit. You see what I'm saying? Because we're in a different world. And when you get on this higher frequency, your world starts changing, and then you're able to have more peace in the now. And this is where you create a situation where there is no, you're not even able to acknowledge time and space like you were before. Time and space is on a different frequency. This is what they call the fifth dimension within the human body, because there's different levels of these dimensions, but within this human body, you perceiving a higher dimension, a higher realm within the human lens. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end this video, and peace.